Game 4 tonight, TD Bank Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. There is no other way to slice it. Golden State Warriors lose this game, they're likely losing the NBA Finals. It's just that simple. I know people will disagree. I know they'll say, oh, no, you're wrong. But then again, they might not. Because if ever there was a time it looked this daunting for the Golden State Warriors, it would happen to be now. The fellas know what time it is. So does Molly, even though she may never admit it. First takes it.
Celtics in 6. Who got it right? Molly.
Well, they came right at us, but I like where we are.
Can't you see? Don't you know what I am? I'm a man with a plan, and this time you understand.
Puts it in, and it's their first lead since it was 2-0.
That's a great team, and they're going to go and run. This is how you respond. So don't put your head down, just keep going.
Tatum drives inside, lays it in. Smart corner three. Boston Celtics take game 3. They're 2 wins away from a title.
The roller coaster ride, you know about it. It's a game of swings, Pat Bev. What's going on, everybody? It's a game of swings in, yes, relationships and in the finals. SA at home, good to see you, sir. Jay, Will, Pat Bev, I'm Molly Karaman. We're going to have some fun today because it is a feel-good Friday.
Okay.
Right, gentlemen?
Yes, it is.
All right. SA, you feeling good? Can you
I'm
hear
feeling
me?
good.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
All right. Let's do it because
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
It's game day, and he's working tonight. 9 Eastern on ABC. The Celtics up 2-1. One major concern: the health of Steph Curry, who has been carrying his team, was injured in the fourth quarter of Game 3 when Al Horford rolled in Curry's leg as the two dove for a loose ball. Curry isn't missing Game 4 though. Take a listen.
I'm gonna play. That's all I know right now. Get as much recovery and healing as possible. Understand how important Game 4 is, and I'm excited about the opportunity. Because I went through what I went through at the end of the regular season and coming back, I know exactly what it is and what I got to deal with, and I guess comfort knowing I've been through it before, but also you'd rather not have to deal with something like that at this point in the season.
All right, SA, I know how badly you want to see these Warriors win. What is your level of concern tonight for Steph Curry? You know, he's been carrying the load and now dealing with this injury.
Well, it's extreme, and it's extreme not necessarily from the health standpoint. It's serious from the standpoint that I think he needs to be 100%. It's extreme from the standpoint I don't think that the Golden State Warriors can afford to lose this game. And as far as I'm concerned, the only consistent threat offensively that has existed in for the Golden State Warriors in these finals is Steph Curry. And so because of that, you look at the load that's basically been placed on his shoulders. He's always been the face of the franchise. Obviously, when Kevin Durant was there, he was not the best player, but he was still lethal and he was still the face of the franchise. But with Kevin Durant gone, now he is the best player on the team. The reality is that all that pressure is going to be mounted against him. And as I watch the Boston Celtics defend against this guy, I see how tough it is for him to get loose. Certainly when he launches, we know how lethal he can be and what have you. But they are making sure very little is easy for him. Practically everything is being contested, and they're in his face because their mentality clearly is, you know what, make it difficult for Steph Curry. We believe we can contain pretty much everybody else. They did contain practically everybody else for the first 2 games, with the exception of the explosion from Steph Curry, and then Jordan Poole got loose in the third quarter for a little bit. And then Clay got loosed in the third quarter. In Game 3. But that's really where it's at right now. You need Steph Curry in the worst way. Certainly more than you needed him for the previous 2 titles they won when they had Kevin Durant at their disposal. Anything that hobbles Steph Curry definitely makes the task that much more harder.
Okay. I like that, Steve. I mean, it took a while to get there, but I like that. I'm gonna go. What's wrong with you? No, I'm just being honest.
It can take a while. It's first take.
No, but
what happened?
It's your show,
right.
It's your show. You can take as long as you want to get to whatever path you want.
Here we go.
Yes.
Respect.
I'm much quicker on Sports Center and Countdown, but on First Take, I take my time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like the way us as basketball players, Jay. You understand. You too, Steve. Probably a long time ago. When you're injured, when you come back, you're so focused on getting healthy, you're so focused on the injury that you tend to kind of, not think about the game and kind of play relaxed. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see Steph Curry have an explosive game tonight.
I'm with you, PB. I hope he does have an explosive game. There's obviously, I'm with Stephen A. There's extreme concern here. For me, could there be stiffness in the ankle, the foot, that could leave shots short? Yeah, but after a while, you get lost in the competitive nature of the game. You start really hooping. You lose yourself in the passion of the game. Where I do get worried about him and the ankle, though, is more so on the defensive side of the ball.
No.
See, me being at this table with you, one of the reasons I've always loved your game is that you're a pit bull, right? You're a shark. When you smell blood in the water, you're hunting. So there's blood in the water now for Steph Curry. So if he was already getting targeted in Game 3, the way Marcus Smart, you want to keep switching all this action?
No.
You end up on Marcus Smart, we're going to put you in the block.
Oh.
You end up guarding Al Horford, we're putting you in the block. Now, every time I got anybody that you're on, I'm driving you. Already know that you don't have any interior presence, right? Now, we'll see if they play Kuminga. We'll see if they play Kevon Looney, how they'll match up those minutes. But if there's not an interior presence and Draymond switching so much on the perimeter, whoever Steph Curry is guarding, make it a signal to attack him and drive him and make him move lateral.
And I understand that standpoint, and that wouldn't be a wrong standpoint. But if this was something new that Steph Curry was dealing with, then I'll be like, okay, this is something he's dealt with. This is something he's dealt with in the past. So he kind of knows how to manage it, and it won't be surprised they're attacking everybody on that team. Everybody is blood in the water on that team. So I'm sorry, Stephen A. Smith. This is your show, my bad.
Not to jump on. Yeah, it is. It's okay though, man. I got 20 plus years on you. I got 20 plus years on you. Remember that, my brother.
I thought he was going to say
PSA, I didn't say nothing.
He claimed it real quick.
It's me and Molly.
You just remembered me.
Let's make sure Pat come check me out in 20 years. I'm going to be looking for you 20 years from now, my brother. You turned 34 July 12th, I think. So we'll see. We'll see. But here's the deal, y'all. I want to transition just a touch. Stay on Steph Curry, but I remember years ago when Shaq fouled out in the finals against Indiana, and Kobe was like, "I got you. I got this." I remember stuff like that. I remember, and I look at things of that nature, and I'm looking for who's that guy for Golden State that's gonna step up and say, "Hey, Steph, I got you. I know you ain't 100%. I got you." I'm not seeing anybody now. That's what's making me nervous, okay? When I think about Minnesota, let's take Minnesota. And Bev, your squad right now. Karl Anthony Towns is supposed to be that dude, but Anthony Edwards has arrived. You understand? But we know that Karl Anthony Towns could explode and put up some points. But let's just say for a hypothetical, or something happened to Karl Anthony Towns, and everybody said, "All right, Anthony Edwards, what you gonna do?" Anthony Edwards would be, "Yeah, okay, we'll see. Give me the rock. I'll be here." I'm looking for who that dude is on Golden State for this particular series.
Stephen A.,
because
doesn't it have to
Klay
be?
still is not 100%.
It has to be Klay, though. I've been talking about this all morning long, and I know they do it by committee. Let's say between Wiggins and when Jordan Poole can give you that impact. But watching Klay in Game 3, you still feel like there is a supernova type of Klay, and that is my thing. Even with Stephen Curry, if he's being attacked on the defensive side of the ball, and you're asking him to carry the weight on the offensive side of the ball, my man gets tired quickly. So the one person that can provide that impact, that momentum swing, even though we're asking a lot for a guy that didn't play basketball in 2 years, coming off that torn ACL and that torn Achilles, it has to be Klay Thompson in this moment to help him get over it. I don't know if I see Jordan Poole or Wiggins doing it.
Well, let me listen. I'm throwing this at y'all. I'm not saying that I have the answer. I'm throwing it at y'all. You remember that one play? Because we see Klay rolling off screens all the time and popping it. We get that. But did you see the one play where he drove to the basket and Jaylen Brown followed him and blocked the shot? If you watch that particular play, just that one play, that's Boston letting you know, we can't do anything if you get space and you launch. We understand what you can do. But in terms of dribble drive penetration, getting to the hole on your own off the dribble and finishing at the basket, hell, you ain't got nothing on us if you Klay Thompson. That's what Boston seems to be saying. We're just as big, if not bigger. We're damn sure stronger, and we're clearly healthier because we weren't out the last 2 years. You were, and you're trying to get yourself back. So I'm not saying that Klay can't do something or Klay doesn't need to do something. I certainly think that he's capable of explosion. But his shot opportunities have to be created by the likes of a Steve Kerr in terms of his coaches schematically, what Draymond Green is going to do in terms of setting screens and things of that nature, and having somebody else on the court to draw some attention away so when you kick the ball to Klay, Klay can get a shot off. That's what I'm saying. You can't just give it to him and say, take us there. He needs help.
So we go just, and we just go keep giving Andrew Wiggins a pass? He's an all-star. He was an all-star this year.
I'm not.
He was an all-star this year. His ass got to wake up and step up on both sides.
But, can we be real about it? I mean, he got voted in as an all-star, PB. And, when you understand some of the pop singers that the Golden State Warriors brought into their franchise to influence the vote, and I like Wiggins. I think Wiggins is an impactful player, especially on the defensive end. And
he was worthy of being an all-star, though, Jay.
I hear you.
He was worthy of it the first half of the season. He was worthy. Not the second half.
He was not worthy. I'm just giving you the facts on how it became something because of the influence that the pop star had. That's the reality of it, is it not?
Yeah, but we talk about his game, though. We talk about what he saw with his game.
No, we did. I'm just saying, like, when you have,
and then he became an all-star and didn't show up.
Yeah, I'm just saying when you have Andre Iguodala, dressed up, signaling you to come here. I know someone said on Twitter, an AAU dad. As an all-star, I'm all with coaching, but as an all-star, I'm locked in. It's a championship. Ain't nothing we need to talk about. We in the trenches right now. We down. We in Boston. I need to do what I need to do to get a dub tonight. I don't need no help from the sky.
Hold on, Bev.
You're right.
Hold on, Bev.
Right.
Hold on, Bev.
My bad.
Let's be honest about what you're saying.
My bad.
No. Let's be honest about what you're saying. No. Let's be honest about what you're saying. Andre Iguodala wasn't calling him over there for something schematically or here's a play here or there. The way that Andre Iguodala called him over, that seemed to be challenging him to up his level of intensity.
Right. Yeah.
That's what you're speaking about, Ben.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Because there's nothing wrong with talking about something schematically. Energy-wise, Wiggins didn't seem to be there. That is inexcusable in the NBA Finals. You're absolutely right. This is former number one overall pick. Right. It's not skill-wise, Jay. Not skill-wise, but back in the day, I was like, I'd give him away for a bag of cookies. Yeah. Because his level of intensity never
and if this was any other,
then he upped it this year, and it ain't there now.
And if this was any other number one pick, everybody at this table would be all over him. That's all I'm saying. I just said he has to step up. Obviously, he's doing a great job on Jason Tatum. Maybe that's, some legs going to took him away, but this is a championship. Ain't no excuse. You got to step up.
I know you're focused on the players, but I want to talk coaching a little bit because people have been praising Udoka and Kerr getting a bit of criticism, which rarely ever happens. So what adjustments do the Warriors need to make, coaching included?
I think, number one, they need to guard the hell out of the ball. I think it starts with just their defensive tenacity in guarding the ball. There were so many blow-bys in Game 3. It was alarming and it was concerning. So, look, are they going to target Steph? Yeah, but like Pat Bev said, you're in the trenches, time to man up and guard the ball. So I think that comes number one. I think number two, offensively, I'm going to say I think they need to play faster. I think Draymond, even after made shots, push the ball and try to get some chippies. Now, I know that there are rim protectors at the rim, right, for guys like Robert Williams and Al Horford who's around the rim as well. But if you can play faster, I think that gets Draymond involved in the game more. I think that gets more open shots for Klay. And I think for pick and rolls, it gets you into your action faster. And the more I can get Steph involved in pick and rolls, if Boston wants to stay in drop coverage, that gets him going offensively, and that gets the momentum of our team offensively.
Yeah, I like what you said in the beginning. And I also like, obviously they have to contain the ball. We all seen that. But even if you contain the ball, you got to rebound it. Mm-hmm. The Warriors are the best when they're in transition. But you can't get in transition if you're steady taking the ball out the net. Even if you want to take the ball out the net and play fast, the defense is still matched up. I think they have to do a better job at rebounding. But that goes to now a coach's decision. Are you going small lineup with Draymond at the 5, or are you going Looney and Draymond at the 4? Because now you do that presents different opportunities offensively for you as a unit also. So, but Steve Kerr, he's a champion. He's been a champion as a player. He's a champion as a coach. He's been here before. He's been down before. I see him making all of the necessary adjustments, so I'm not really worried about that.
For me, it comes down to this, fellas. you know, we sit here and we dissecting the game and what needs to happen or whatever. Let's be clear about something. The Warriors know what they need to do. The question is, can they do it?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Can they do it? Because it would be one thing, like, for example, from a schematic perspective, I just think that Jonathan Kuminga, the Moses Moody's of the world, you need to find a way to insert them in the game to make sure your boys, your main brothers, are ready and fresh come the fourth quarter. You got to insert these brothers in there. If you've got athleticism and length on your bench, damn it, find a way to use it, because Jaylen Brown's like 25 years old. Jason Tatum's like 24 years old. I mean, the brothers are young. And then you look at White and Smart, and these ain't old heads, my man. These brothers, they've got legs, they've got youth, they've got athleticism, they've got further, they've got energy. You've got to find a way to match that, which to me is why Steve Kerr should be playing a couple of those young guys. Outside of that, it's really about, can you do it against these boys? Are you just an inferior team, and this is just a bad matchup that you can't overcome? That's really what this comes down to now.
Nah, come on, Steve. I don't think that. I don't think that, man.
There's a bad matchup.
No, they've been up. They've been up game one. They came, but Boston came back. They won it. They won by double digits this past game two. They were down double digits game three. Came back, took lead. They've been in control of the game. They just let it slip. So I don't think this is a type of team where they're waking up like, man, we can't beat them. I think this is a type of team like, man, we need to do just a little bit more here. We need to do a little bit more there. Stay calm, get the best Draymond, rebound the ball, and we put ourselves in a position to be champions again.
Well, PB, a lot of that starts with Draymond, right? I mean, you talk about Boston being plus 16 on the boards. You talk about points in the paint, 50 to 20. I mean, they got dominated, right? So if you are going to go with that small lineup, you need the energy level of Draymond to be off the charts tonight to manufacture that type of rebounding for your team if you are going to play small.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they like the small lineup. They're used to it. They've been doing it for years. I just don't know if this small lineup works with Boston.
Before we move on, let me ask you this, and I can't stop staring at your wrist. I mean, it's nice. Yeah.
Shout out to my girl.
I mean, she hooked it up.
Yeah, she always does.
She hooked it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed. No wonder. Yeah, it's extra nice. I mean, it is.
I see her steady staring.
You know what I like?
I see her staring over here.
Pat, you know what I like? Your girl lit your wrist up.
Yeah.
And rather than vice versa, she did it.
Yeah, she did.
So that's nice.
Yeah, a little baguette, you know.
Okay, I'm with it. All right, now I'm refocused.
I don't know about the gold. I don't know about the gold mixed in with the ice.
No, it's just diamonds. That's the thing.
Diamonds go with everything.
Get a zoom in. Come on, guys. Don't do it like that.
You don't need anything but diamonds. You're good.
All diamonds.
You could just go diamonds.
Yeah.
All right, I'm focused though. Let me ask you this, okay? And it's not because I'm feeling myself because I picked the Celtics. Go ahead, Stephen A.
I said, all I was saying is it's not like I'm unfamiliar with the drip game.
Do you want to pop out your 2 chains?
No.
Because we got 2 chains right here. Sometimes he pops it out a little bit, but only in L.A.
Okay, I got to see it.
He keeps it tucked on the East Coast. All right, let me ask you this, though. So you all picked the Warriors, all right? I had the Celtics in 6. I just want to ask you, if we were going to do this over, now with what you've seen through 3 games, in all seriousness, do you think you would have picked this series differently?
No.
So you still have the Warriors?
Still have the Warriors. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know about that.
Sorry about the man part.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm feeling old today anyway. It's all
I hope for the sake of making my pick for Golden State that I'm correct, but the more and more I watch, like in the trenches, like I want to give credit to Boston, even though a lot of people feel like, well, Golden State's always been in control of the game. I say, well, have they? Because Boston has found ways to win in the trenches, and that deserves praise from me. It feels like almost, has Golden State been battle tested over the last couple of months in the playoffs when you look at who they've had to go through? And yeah, they won these series, but I'm like, damn, Boston's been through KD and Kyrie. They've been through Giannis, who's playing like the best player in basketball, a Miami Heat team that defends better than any other team in the league alongside Boston. So, like, I don't know, like that trench experience, I think is coming out right now against the Golden State Warriors.
So you would have picked Boston.
I think I might have picked Boston, yeah.
What about you, S.A.?
Well, I was going to pick Golden State regardless because I picked them at the top of the season and I wasn't jumping off that bandwagon. But I will confess to you that I lean with what Jay said. That's pretty much the only reason that I would tell you that I would stick with them now. What I've seen from the Boston Celtics is a team that's bigger, that's more physical, and that beats itself rather than get beat by the Golden State Warriors. They turned the ball over like 19 times in game 2, and the physicality that was spearheaded by Draymond Green really propelled the Golden State Warriors. But we know that Boston is the more physical team. We know that they've got Al Horford and Robert Williams, whereas Golden State has Looney and Draymond Green. That shouldn't be enough. We see the size in terms of Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Okay, that's not necessarily a good thing for Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole. And so when you look at it from that perspective, the physicality, the ability to score the ball, obviously them being an elite defense, particularly in a half-court set, I can't in good conscience sit here with a straight face and tell you that regardless of what I've seen over the course of these first 3 games, that I would have picked the Golden State Warriors. No, I would not have based on what I'm seeing. But again, I ain't jumping off the damn bandwagon.
No.
I'm staying with the Warriors because that's how I've been going with that all year.
Let's take this thought experiment a little further. So let me give you some numbers. Boston's big 3 has combined for nearly 60 a game in these finals, led by Jaylen Brown. Tatum averaging over 8 assists per game, but his shooting numbers are down, as in the 3rd worst through 3 finals games ever. Still, Boston obviously has that 2-1 lead. So, Jay, let me ask you this. What would a Celtics title mean for the rest of the NBA?
Nothing. I don't think, I mean, look, I think Boston has arrived as a team that will be here for a long period of time. I think obviously it will mean something on the team in the West Coast between this legacy fight for championships, Boston and LA, right? Some people will keep that track with 18, obviously. But I think for the rest of the league feels like the door is still open. Like, just look at the East, right? We talk about this team across the East River, the Brooklyn Nets. Like, what could they be with Kyrie, KD, and Ben Simmons? Does Boston beat Milwaukee with Chris Middleton on the court? I don't know. Giannis playing like the best player in basketball with Chris Middleton, with Jrue Holiday. That's a really good team. You talk about what's going to happen with the Miami Heat. Are they going to be able to get a guy like Bradley Beal? Will they get a guy like Donovan Mitchell to be partner with Jimmy Butler? Like, that's a legit
trade
team.
for Patrick Beverly?
Would they trade for Patrick Beverly? I don't know.
Yeah,
I like that you just said that. Yes, I'll say it.
Okay,
so you said it for me, and I'll keep saying it from now on.
This ain't the NBA channel. This is ESPN. We can say anything we want.
So I'm talking, what's Philly going to do? What moves are they going to make? Does Boston get by them as easily if Joel Embiid is not hurt?
Yeah.
So I'm not even going out west yet. I'm not talking about what the Clippers could be next year with Kawhi and PG. I'm not talking about what his squad could be. We're not talking about what Memphis could be in Golden State. I mean, Steven Adams plays that entire series. If he's not held out to health and safety protocol with John Morant playing, that could be a different series for Golden State.
Oh, will you stop it?
Stephen A., they dominated.
Oh, will you stop it? I mean, you just drive me crazy sometimes.
How do I drive you crazy?
I thought you'd be in a good mood today.
I'm getting ready to tell you.
Hey, what's wrong?
I'm getting ready to tell you. I'm getting ready to tell you.
Look, man. You know what's wrong with Stephen A? He misses us a little bit.
Can you stop it?
He wishes he was.
Go ahead, tell me I'm crazy.
May I respond? May I respond? The fact of the matter is, you know what? If I went to hair club for men, my hairline would be 2 feet forward. I mean, what's all of these ifs and all of this other stuff, Jay? I mean, damn. I mean, what the hell is that? Okay, the fact of the matter is this. As it presently stands, and this is the thing that drives me crazy about you. No, like Kendrick Perkins said, you may not have won a championship on the NBA level, but damn it, you're a champion, a national player of the year, national champion. You know you can ball and you know ball. Patrick Beverly, you've been in the league for years. You understand this stuff. When you win a championship, you know what it takes, and that changes things, Jay. I agree with you. They might have lost to Milwaukee if Chris Middleton wasn't there. But the flip side is the experience that they're gathering now, combined with what we know they could do, only elevates them. So as it presently stands, Jay, Jason Tatum is 24. Jaylen Brown is 25. Marcus Smart is 27. Robert Williams is 24. Okay? Al Horford is the elder statesman at 35 years of age. Derek White is 27. Grant Williams is 23. Dice is 29. Pritchard is 24. I'm just saying, just look at that. If you capture a championship, particularly against the Golden State Warriors, the road to prosperity you have now traveled, you have endured. You know what it takes. That elevates you too. So you are right. If other people make changes, of course, then we have to revisit it. But as it presently stands, Philly being Philly, Milwaukee being Milwaukee, Brooklyn being Brooklyn, Atlanta being Atlanta, Miami being Miami, etc. This is only going to help Boston and make them that much more formidable. That is a fact. And when you look at Dallas, look at Dallas and these other teams. They got a lot of work to do.
What's that have to do with
You
this
start
question?
to
Yesterday, I got up on your
Dallas. Yes.
Stephen A. Yesterday, I got up on your show, and you ripped me apart about you got to answer the question.
New era. That's my answer.
Your answer to the question is that it makes them
What would
better
Celtics
next
title
year
be for the
to rest-
NBA?
It makes them better
What
to the
would
rest of
Celtics
the
title
next
be
year?
for the NBA?
What does it mean? Can you tell me?
Listen,
it
Jay,
means that
Jay.
there's a new era. There's a new era. If they beat the Golden State Warriors and the
It's a new
Celtics,
era.
It's a new era. And then it's open for the
a new era.
whole NBA.
It was a new era last year when Milwaukee won it.
No, everybody was saying how.
Hold on. We respectfully disagree with that. Time out. Here's the reason why. We respectfully disagreed with that because we looked at the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, in fairness to you, you didn't feel this way, but you were alone. All of us were like, if Kyrie didn't get hurt, Brooklyn wins that series. We all questioned Milwaukee.
Yes.
We all questioned them. We said, we said, yo, Kyrie doesn't get hurt. It's Milwaukee ain't even in the finals. Brooklyn would have handled that. Okay, that's how we felt about it. Now, you can sit up there and say, again, you said that last year, and this time you're bringing up Chris Middleton. I got it. If your position was simply, yo, Chris Middleton wasn't there, I'm going with Milwaukee next year, that's a different argument. You brought up 12 different damn teams. I mean,
No. Don't try to imitate my voice and make fun of me. Don't try to distract the audience from the fact that you're veering off in this conversation. Chris, I did make that point. Did you get mad at my other points that I made? Is that what it came down to?
No, I'm saying all the other stuff requires damn near plastic surgery. I mean, when this stuff happens. If
Stephen A., we do this every year.
If Chris Middleton is healthy, Milwaukee's winning, I got that. But you didn't say that. You brought up 12 damn teams.
Pat Bev, let me ask you a question, Pat Bev. Yeah, I did bring up 12 teams because it should go through, and Golden State is getting older. Okay, so I will say that. Let me ask you: if Steven Adams did play the whole game, the whole series, and Ja Morant wasn't out, is that just an easy in-6 for Golden State?
Man, if Steven Adams would have played, man, it would have been in 5 for Golden State because he is in the deep drop. Who's going to guard off that pick and roll?
So you don't think he made any impact, even though they dominated the points in the paint when he came back?
Man, Steven Adams in the series against us, he had to get benched.
Well, how about Ja Morant playing, not being hurt the last 3 games?
I can't control that. I don't know about that. We're talking about Steven Adams.
That's all I'm saying.
So both of them.
So, what I'm saying, though, is next year is a different year. So, yeah, Boston has arrived. But for me, like, what are you saying? It's a new era in which Boston's going to be the team that gets to the NBA Finals every year?
No,
Are they going to create the next dynasty the way Golden State has gotten to the finals the last 6 out of 8 years?
I just think it gives teams
opening the door to a new dynasty,
meaning
like they don't have the league on lock anymore.
Yeah, and I just think it gives teams more confidence. Like, once you go through Golden State, they've been there so long with so many different people. Like, it gives now the look of Golden State. Maybe they're not as tough as they were. That's just the look of it. That's the human nature, the look of it.
Yeah.
I'm making a prediction. When Jay Williams sees me, he's gonna grab me, he's gonna headlock me, he's gonna try to beat me up. Let me tell you why. Because Jay Williams has made a mistake.
Wow.
Well, Jay Williams is my brother. I can say that. Brothers fight. Here's the deal. Jay Williams made a mistake. What Jay Williams tries to do, he tries to be so cerebral, so professorial in all of his things, and just analyzing stuff, right? Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to listen to you on the radio in the morning. I'm going to watch you on this show. I'm going to see you on the other shows, and I'm going to pick apart word by word the things that you say. And by the time I get through with you, you're going to be ready to kill me.
Because I come on my show for 4 hours and think about what I say on my show, because I know you're going to do that on your show. I know what your game plan is.
Phoenix, Pat Bev, Phoenix, Dallas, Minnesota, Memphis, Denver, L.A., Atlanta, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Philadelphia. That's what Jay brought up. That's what Jay brought up.
So I did bring them up. You're telling me next year, if Kawhi Leonard and PG, we had a conversation off camera yesterday about how real PG is. Did we not?
Who?
So, and you agree? Okay. So you're telling me if the Clippers are full force next year?
No. The Clippers have the best roster in the NBA.
Thank you. So
I mean, that's the truth. Everyone knows that.
Okay, so I mean, will they pan out? That's the question, right?
Can they be healthy?
Can they be healthy? Yeah. But
They
all I'm
also
saying
have
is,
exceptional coaching because Ty Lue is one of the best coaches in basketball.
No, go.
Let's make sure we don't forget to say that.
Go for sure.
so my whole thing about this, I feel like this new era, like it began last year with injuries, with the age of where Golden State is, with the health of what happens with Steph. We were even talking about a rolling of his ankle now, or with Clay coming back off multiple injuries. I kind of feel like the door has been open. I don't think this year is now everybody's like, oh, the door is open. That's just me.
Yeah.
But I'm too professorial for some people.
I think it's just your dude.
Well, can I say, can I respond to
People look at you and they see it's your Duke education, so you can't take it personally.
Can we remind the audience of what's
Pat.
happening, though? Wait, hold up, Stephen A. Can we remind the audience of what's happening, this 2-on-2 that's happening? So it's you and Pat Bev. I just want to confirm.
Is that who you took as a partner?
Because the end of the show,
I haven't decided yet. I haven't made a decision yet.
What do you think?
Wow.
You know what? I don't need defense.
You're the shooter.
He needs more
I thought you were the shooter.
I thought you were the shooter.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I thought you were trying to shoot.
You gotta
Let
be
me
able to
say
get a
this.
shot off to shoot.
Molly, y'all talking, y'all ain't listening to me.
Okay,
Let me be very, very clear.
Focus.
As of what I said yesterday, okay? I'm going to say it again.
Don't you say
Jay Williams, J.J. Redick, Patrick Beverly, these are NBA players. I'm not on that level. I know better than that. But Jay Williams came out and said, I'm not scoring a point.
No.
I'm not saying I'm going to win by any stretch of imagination.
No.
But hold on, I'm going to repeat it. Pat. Bev.
Let's hear it.
I'm not saying I'm going to win by any stretch, but I'm going to have my moments where, Jay, I'm going to bust your ass.
Hey, dog. I'm gonna tell you right. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell your ass right now.
Who's your partner?
It don't matter who his partner is. As soon as you touch the ball, Stephen A., your back gonna be to the basket, and if you can get 5 dribbles off of me, that's gonna be Hail Mary situation for you.
Cool.
You're gonna be able to see the rim.
Make it take it.
Cool.
Hey, Steve,
No problem.
Y'all playing make it take it.
Make it take it. Game to 7. They ain't getting the ball.
Yeah, it might be tough, Steve. If y'all play make it take it, it might. If y'all play OBL,
Yeah, that might be tough.
Yeah, that's
you
why I
didn't tell
told
me
him.
that.
That's what I said yesterday. See,
Why do I need to tell you? Get the.
See, I thought you meant I get the ball back. I thought you meant I get the ball back.
Like OBL
That's what I'm
rules,
saying.
right?
I mean, if I touch the ball and I can't stop you, I mean, what the hell? You didn't tell me I don't get the ball.
We'll give you the ball
You said
first.
you're going to stop me from scoring a basket.
I'll give you the ball first. We'll do make it take it, and I'll give you the ball
So in other
first.
words, if I miss,
You better pick a partner.
I know I'm going up against an elite player. Hold it. I know I'm going up against an elite player. It's entirely possible that Jay Williams could score 7 straight shots on me. My response is this. I thought you score, I get the ball back. I get numerous chances at the apple.
Right.
I'm telling you, that happens, I'm going to skate on you.
Yeah.
I'm going to skate on you. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to skate on you.
Skate on the boy.
You're going to skate on him with who?
Don't start popping the ass. Don't start doing all that.
Oh, my God. You better start recruiting. That's all I know. Start recruiting, I say.
You can't shoot the ball well enough to be on this team?
I average 11 and 6 in the playoffs, man. What you mean? That's Jordan Poole average, didn't he?
Wow.
You know what?
Shots fired.
It's his loss. Let's keep it going here. When we come back here on First Take, sip that tea. Draymond. LeBron James made it clear he wants to own an NBA team, and he wants that team to be located in Las Vegas, as he said on the latest episode of The Shop. The Shop episode dropping today, Friday, June 10th, exclusively on Uninterrupted's YouTube channel. Take a listen.
I want to own the team.
Buy a team?
Yeah, I want to buy a team.
That's
for sure.
There you go. Buying a team and then talking is a little tricky. If you own the team and like...
Yeah, I would much rather own a team before I talk. I want a team in Vegas.
Good for you.
Oh,
yeah. I want the team in Vegas.
I love it. Okay, by the way, so Las Vegas, Seattle have been reported as 2 possible expansion sites, so that would take the number to 32. Stephen A., what's your reaction to LeBron owning a team and then wanting it to be in Vegas?
Well, we're years removed from anybody owning the team from the NBA expanding. That's number one. Number two, I think it's going to be a challenge for him because that's a good old boys club. They have to let you in. You don't just get in just because you have the money. So we have to keep that in mind. And over the years, how some of these owners have had issues with him. Having said all of that, I put nothing past LeBron James and his team, particularly led by Maverick Carter. I put nothing past them. They can achieve anything. And to be quite honest with you, with what LeBron has meant to the game of basketball, I'm going to go so far as to say I think the league would owe it to him to facilitate him owning a basketball team. He has not just been a superstar on the court. He's been a superstar off the court. He's been a quintessential role model in every way, shape, and form. I would remind everybody that the only thing that LeBron James has done that put a blemish on the NBA was when he sat up there and just went on national TV and announced that he was taking his talents to South Beach. And that ain't wrong in a lot of people's eyes. That's the only thing you can say about him. This man has been as close to perfection as you could possibly expect from any superstar in the history of sports. He has been a role model. He has been a champion. He has been somebody that's put in the work. He has never, ever cheated the game. He's exhibited exemplary professionalism and class, leadership. The list goes on and on and on. And in his 19th season, at age 37, despite the pathetic season that the Los Angeles Lakers have, while you got people walking around off season, chilling with smiles on their face and acting like it ain't no big deal that they home, LeBron tweets out, "I'm never missing the playoffs again. This bleep hurts." Watching these playoff games, reminding the audience about how much he cares about winning, how much he cares about being in the championship picture, even after all of these years. This is what any sports league is supposed to want. And when you have a potential owner that has that resume, that put forth those kind of accomplishments and has done so in exemplary fashion from a character perspective as well, there is no question that LeBron James deserves ownership of an NBA franchise, and the NBA would be absolutely lucky to have him. And the league should be planning now to do everything they can to make sure that LeBron James has a majority stake in owning an NBA team. He deserves it.
Stephen A., your last line was the headline. The NBA should be doing everything in its power to make sure that one of its brightest stars in the history of the game, even if you are on the side that Michael Jordan is the greatest player on the planet. Okay, if LeBron James is a second or third, whatever your opinion is, it would be in the best business of the NBA to have that representation for your brand globally. A kid from Akron who not only had the talent, but had the business acumen with the team he associated himself with to become a billionaire while still being an active player that will then transition into an ownership, a majority ownership perspective in the likes of Michael Jordan. Like, that's the staple of the NBA. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, your two owners, guys that have played. And by the way, what kind of brand messaging does that send to what's going to happen next in the league? You're telling every little kid out there, hey, if you were to do it like this and surround yourself with the right people and have the luck on the court to get to championships, to monetize those championships, you could potentially own an NBA team one day as well. And by the way, ownership is not something that's new for LeBron James. He's part of Fenway Sports Group that already owns the Boston Red Sox, already owns the Pittsburgh Penguins, already owns Liverpool FC. So there is experience with his team and ownership to begin with, Stephen A., which you name me a reason why they would hold anything against him to take part in something like this. There is none.
Well, I can give you a reason. It's not right. It's not right for them to do it, but I can tell you what their apprehension is. Let's make sure that we understand the times that we're living in and who's been one of the leading voices in sports in terms of bringing attention to issues that would make, dare we say, the good old boys club that exists in the NFL and NBA and other places very, very uncomfortable. LeBron James. And so as a result of that, remember, it's not just the money that you have. They have to let you in. They have to want you into their club. And you are going to have some who are going to be resistant to that. I'm advocating on behalf of LeBron James, unapologetically. He ain't asking, nobody did, but I'm doing it because it needs to happen. He deserves ownership of a franchise. And the only reason he doesn't deserve it now is because you can't have it while you're playing, okay? Because if he could get it now while he was playing, I'd say give him ownership stake right now. A majority ownership stake. He deserves it. He's that worthy of it. But his voice in those rooms about issues that percolate, not just as it pertains to the game, but beyond. It's incredibly important that a voice like his would be in that room with these other owners, with the board of governors, with the commissioner, the league office, and beyond. His voice is pivotal. And so I think that his conscience, and he's a conscientious observer. He's a good brother, a good man. He's an incredible role model, and he is a superstar. There is nothing missing, and there's absolutely no excuse whatsoever for him not to have a majority ownership stake in an NBA franchise. But there will be those who are resistant just because, Jay, they don't want him in the same room as them, hearing what they think, being called on the carpet potentially for it. Things of that nature. There will be resistance, but it shouldn't be much.
I agree. And Stephen A., the last thing I would say about this and how I would still force their hand, you know, when George Floyd happened in this country, one of the back ends of that is a lot of people I know in positions of power, and I've been asked this too, been asked to join a lot of different boards, right? Trying to fill out more diversity on their board seats in order to help their business not only have the right profile look, but also to understand and to hear more about some of the plights that are happening in Black and brown communities. So as we look at Michael Jordan as the sole majority Black owner in the NBA, and you think about the story attached to LeBron James, if he has amassed the wealth and the right partnership group in order to do that, that should be something that the NBA should praise and promote and build for what's coming next.
They will.
With their global international brand.
All right, we're up against it. He's aspirational.
They will.
Inspirational.
Yes.
He's accomplished so much, and I love that he's still going for more and more. We'll keep it there. When we come back here in First Take, how critical is tonight's Game 4 for Boston, who are looking to take a commanding 3-1 series lead? NBA champion with the Celtics, Eddie House. We'll break it all down with Stephen A. Plus.
I figured if I was going to come on here, I had to do it from orbit. I decided to bring some knowledge, some real championship knowledge to First Take this morning. Now carry on.
Just sip your tea.
What's the expectation of the Lakers directly in comparison to the Clippers?
We're never worried about the strippers. You know, they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to be what they're going to be, you know, which is JV.
Dan Orlovsky's going to be a part of Monday Night Football to watch this young pup grow and mature in this business the way that he has. He has now graduated, Molly, to a point where he's actually going to put his wife in first class.
She's going on a bachelorette party. She's flying coach. She's flying. I honestly,
that with pride. I take back everything I said. I think the Dallas Cowboys got a chance to win the Super Bowl in June. I think the Dallas Cowboys got a chance to win the Super Bowl because it's June. Since we can say anything, hell, I can say that there and tell you Dallas Cowboys are favorites to come out of the NFC and go to the Super Bowl in June.
Okay.
What does that mean?
See,
Nothing.
Will Stephen A. score a bucket on Jay Will and JJ Redick?
And the argument was if he was to bring someone else from ESPN. So I'm on ESPN.
He needs to score a bucket.
So me and you.
You want to put money on that too?
Oh, well, he gets Pat Bev.
It's a bet. It's a bet. It's a bet.
I'm bust your ass.
This man.
So we have fun, Stephen A. or what? We do have fun on this show, right?
By the way,
best was the Dan Orlovsky stuff. He's like, I take it all back.
Jay, Pat, yo, man, I got to admit, Jay, I said that to you yesterday, right? You ever saw that episode of Martin Lawrence, Martin, when Tommy the Hitman Hearns came in and he said, I'm gonna get at you the whole bit, and all of a sudden he learned he got to fight him. He's like, oh my goodness, I challenged him. What did I do? He said, I feel it already. That's what I said last night. I went like this, damn.
Hey, but you did it though, Steve. You did it in such a smooth, professional, experienced veteran way. Because when you got the count in your ear, we're going to break in 5, 4. He waited right until he hit 3. He said, Jay, everybody start. I'm going to bust your ass. And then we go to break. I can't even defend myself. Legendary, right?
That was good.
Legendary.
We have fun.
Well played.
But guess what? Oh, I like the solo cup. The party starting early. We got another hour to go here. A lot has been made of Draymond Green's struggles in Game 3. 6 fouls and just 2 shots. Some blame the Boston crowd getting to him. Some brought up his podcast. But I'll let Draymond speak for Draymond.
I'm always going to do whatever I can for my teammates. I think that's just my MO. That's who I've always been. In saying that doesn't excuse my play, and how poorly I played last night. But, yeah, I mean, I'll continue to be that guy no matter what. I try not to get caught up in all the stuff that happens around me or that for that matter. But, yeah, I've always been that guy, and that won't change now.
Okay. Stephen A. How pivotal is tonight's game for how we look at Draymond Green?
It's pivotal to some degree, but it's really about how this series ends. And you see how he played in the series, not one game. What I would say to you about this, and Bev knows this, and Jay knows this, who the hell doesn't respect Draymond Green? He's a 3-time champion. He's been to the finals now 6 times. He's a defensive catalyst for the team. We know what he brings to the table. He's going into the Hall of Fame. Dennis Rodman in the Hall of Fame. Draymond Green is going to the Hall of Fame. We know this, okay? We understand all of that. And we know that, his basketball IQ is very high. And we know that he's all about being that Energizer Bunny. What makes this finals different than anything that we've seen from Draymond before? Back in the day, we worried about him with the officials. We're still worrying about him with the officials, and we get that. The flip side is that we heard Draymond say that he wasn't ready Game 1. He needed to do better. And then we heard him say he needed to do better after Game 3. That's 2 games in an NBA Finals series where Draymond is saying, I didn't show up. We haven't seen that before. And so because he's admitted that, and because he's acknowledged what we've all seen. Now you got people looking at his age. You got people wondering how much he has left. You've got people wondering about his focus. Not me. I got no issue with his focus. He could have his podcast. He could do. I support all of these guys trying to do something. To prepare themselves for when their playing careers over. Ain't nobody said a damn thing about the fact that Tom Brady already signed for damn near $30 million a year, even though he gonna play football. So we want to celebrate him, but we want to lament when the brothers are trying to get paid outside of the sport. Y'all kick rocks. I'm all for the brothers getting paid. Do whatever you can within legal means to get yours. You damn right, but you got to do your job. You got to do your job. And what Draymond has said for the first time is that he's not doing his job. And that cannot continue. Golden State loses this series arguably because of it. And people are not going to look at Draymond differently. That's the difference between now and anything he's been through in the past.
Reputation. Everyone knows what Draymond's bringing to the game. Everyone knows, how he plays in transition, his playmaking ability. His ability to, to rebound and push, his attitude, culture changer. I don't think one game, changes his reputation. I mean, if they're able to win the series and win a championship with this Golden State team, and Draymond has not played up to where he needs to play, I mean, I think that plays into Draymond's hand. I think if they fall short, Wiseman comes back next year. Draymond Green plays well better with Wiseman. I think that works into Draymond. So I don't think one game hurts his reputation. I think he's going to come out and play well. I mean, he's one of those type of guys that responds well to criticism. Yeah.
Stephen A., I probably have to agree with you on that. And we, like you said before, you properly articulated that he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Nobody's questioning that at all. But for me, like the way he's played 2 out of these 3 games with recognizing and stating that the first game and then the third game saying he played like bleep. Look, for me, it's not about playing bad. It's about effort-wise. He knows the impact he needs to have on tonight's game, right? So we've seen the impact at the highest level of what he can have in game 2. And I get it. Like, I'm sitting across the table from one of the best to ever do it, mucking it up, learn how to come at people from different angles, getting rebounds, not having Boston be plus 16, really fighting, scraping, clawing, not focus so much more on the refs. Tonight's a signature moment opportunity, I think, for him once again to prove that he still is the soul and the spirit of this team. We all know that he is. But in the biggest moments, this is where you want to see this soul be more powerful than it's ever needed to be before, because they need for it to be. The same reason we're looking maybe to Steph to elevate his game off this ankle, or Clay, you're looking for answers. The soul aspect of the Golden State Warriors needs to be personified and elevated tonight. And the world knows it, and we'll see if Draymond Green can rise to that occasion.
And I think he will. I know he will. His demeanor, his upbringing, he's that type of person. So we have a lot of confidence in Draymond, but he does need to play well, extremely well, for them to win a championship.
Put me up on the screen. Make sure I can see Patrick Beverley and Jay Williams when I say this, please. Let me say this. Let me throw this by both of y'all, because again, we all got love and respect for Draymond Green. Ain't no question about that. What we have to pay attention to, though, is this, because I'm a stickler for this, and Jay knows this about me, Bev, and so do you. This is what you do for a living. So it's not just about your skill. It's what you do to elevate it. Because you get, and it's not to be in anybody's pocket or anything, but when you get paid the money, what it does is allows you the luxury of prioritizing that job. Because you don't have to go out and get a second job and do this, and that to not improve on your skills. You're afforded the time to work on your game. We saw Draymond Green, who would have been MVP arguably because of how he did the season in 2016 in the finals against Cleveland, when Cleveland overcame that 3-1 deficit after Adam Silver gave them a stimulus package, gave LeBron them a stimulus package by Draymond getting suspended. That game 7,
you can't be kicking.
Draymond Green had 32. Draymond Green had 32, 15, and 9. He was sensational. And he was drilling shots all over the place. They left him open. They dared him to shoot. That season, guys, he shot 38% from three-point range. Do you know that the next 2 seasons after, it dipped to 30%? And ever since then, it's been no higher than 28%. You clearly have not worked on your shot. And because you haven't worked on your shot, they're leaving you open, and it's putting the offense at an extreme disadvantage at times because it's 4-on-5, because you're not posing a threat. So what I would challenge Draymond to do is this. Okay, you're not going to hit perimeter shots. How about attacking the basket? How about trying to get a Robert Williams, an Al Horford in a little bit of foul trouble? You can go through the free throw line and hit some free throws. You can score on a layup. Be some kind of a threat that makes them pay attention to you instead of who you looking to pass the ball to. That, to me, is something that I think he needs to do outside of the energy and the defense moving forward.
Yeah, I just, to piggyback on that, when it comes to, like, shooting the ball, obviously he hasn't shot the ball well at all the last 2 years. So I don't see him coming in and just knocking down, 8 threes tonight. Maybe he hits 2, maybe he hits 3. I just want him to be. I want him to get lost in basketball. Me, I'm a huge Draymond Green fan. I'm talking about huge. Like, I love what he does to the game. I love his IQ. I love how he plays the game. I just want him to get lost in basketball. Don't get lost in Grant Williams. Don't get lost in the referees. Don't get lost in Boston crowd. Get lost in just hooping, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, have fun with the game. Like, you and the biggest stage in the world. It's people, from my neighborhood who looking up to Draymond Green like they look up to me. Like, man, we want to see him just hoop, Pat. Like, just hoop. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he has to do.
And didn't it feel that way, though, Stephen A. and Bev, in Game 2, where, at one time, I know J.J. Redick did it on the details, one of the plays I broke down on Get Up where he screened 4 dudes in one damn possession. He screened 4 people in one possession. It was almost like he is the spirit animal, right, to a degree, like for the Warriors. Like he is the warrior. So it's the energy level that you play the game with too, Pat. So like that's why I say, like having the ball in his hands, pushing the tempo, coming up, hey, dribble handoff, dive into the rim, talking, communicating, playing with pace. That's how you get lost in the game. And it seemed like there was just way too much chirping and side stuff going on in Game 3 as opposed to becoming one with the game.
Yeah, I know me being a guy who, you know, talks to, you know, what they say, talks to the refs, and me being a guy who, you know, talks to opposing teams. Yeah, agitator, whatever the word that people use nowadays. That takes a lot of energy away from me.
Yeah.
It takes a ton of energy away from me. I feel like, and then when I got, you know, as the older I got, and you know, I got into the playoffs, I understood like, man, I got to harness that. Right, I got to control that, because if it's not controlled in the right way, it might bleed out on something bad. You know, I might get kicked out of the game. You know, but when I found a way to kind of harness it in the playoffs against Memphis, I actually found myself playing better basketball. So it's just a balance he has to have, and he knows what he has to do. Of course, he don't want to be the laughing stock this summer, because if they don't win, he will be that.
I will say this though, Stephen A. It will be interesting though, because that possession that Pat and I were talking about a couple of days ago, where literally Derek White was going to set a screen on Jaylen Brown because he was actually guarding Jaylen Brown, and literally Jaylen Brown waved Derek White away and said, no, I want you, Draymond. I'm going to target you and put you on the island. So once again, we said defending the ball, right, for Steph Curry, but also for Draymond Green. He's great at being a help side defender. He's great at having active hands, getting steals, but I want to see him elevate his game as a primary defender on the ball, because that's what they're going to do tonight.
No, but he don't do that.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's the thing that people, you know, and
that's not his game.
I'm going to say it again. Draymond is my dog. I love him to death. I love what he brings to the game. But when it comes to like ones and it comes to like moving your feet north and south, like guard, he's not that type of defender. You know, he's a help side defender. He's a, you know, he can get up under you because of his bulky size. So if he plays against Jokic, he can get up under his legs. He can low swipe. He's good with his hands. But when it comes to just Imano, I got the ball. I got to get a bucket. Like, he's not that type of defender.
Yeah, we got to roll. Eddie House is waiting.
Hold on, Molly. All right, y'all know why he did that. You know why that happened, because he talked, the crowd is going to be into it, and if you go at him one-on-one, you're thinking mentally and emotionally you can humble him.
Yeah.
It worked in Game 3. Will it work tonight? We'll find out.
Protect your peace. All right, how critical is tonight's Game 4 for Boston, who are looking to take a commanding 3-1 series lead? NBA champion with the C's. Eddie House will break it all down with Stephen A. Plus, Steph, Clay, and Draymond looking to avoid a 3-1 deficit tonight against Boston. So is time running out on the Warriors championship dynasty? We get into that as well. First take, come on back. First-year head coach Ime Udoka have a shot to go up 3-1 on the Dubs tonight at home. It's been a whirlwind season for Boston, who had a rough start, and they've been dominant from the All-Star break and all through the playoffs. The Celtics are favorites to win the series, on the verge of taking that commanding 3-1 series lead. If they do, they would break a tie with the Lakers and win their record 18th title. Reminder, the Celtics have won 13 of 14 NBA Finals after taking one game. On that note, let's welcome an NBA champion, analyst for NBC Sports Boston, Eddie House, kind enough to join us. Eddie, top of the morning to you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning.
What up, Eddie?
What's happening?
Eddie, tell me this. So the Celtics now 2 wins away from a title. Now, this is the same team. There's a lot of talk on needing to break up its core earlier this season. Did you ever see this coming?
No, I didn't see it coming. I started covering the team in December, and it was a mess. Guys were in and out of protocol. Guys were injured. They didn't have any chemistry. They were trying to find their identity. And then it's just like something clicked. And it's almost like when Jaylen Brown tweeted out, the energy is about to shift. It seems like guys started getting healthy. The team started coming together. They started playing defense. And then they realized one thing. When they share the basketball, it doesn't have to be hero basketball. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't have to be the only guys scoring. When they started sharing that ball, and they also had a team meeting. Marcus Smart called them out. It seemed like everything changed. Defensively, they got better. Offensively, they got better. And they've been rocking and rolling since January.
You know, Eddie,
Eddie,
go ahead, Stephen A.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You got it.
Eddie, educate us about this. There was a lot of talk at the beginning of the season. We all knew that Jaylen Brown was big time. We knew that Jason Tatum was big time. But there was a lot of questions as to whether or not they could coexist and whether or not Boston should strongly consider separating the two. I want to know what your mindset was when you first arrived and you saw them together. And did you think it was legitimate that these two could be separated because it just wasn't working? What was your mindset? What were you seeing?
My mindset was you don't want to break them up. They're young. You don't give up on young talent that's that young, right? They're both young. They're both gifted. And the way this league is going is wing-driven guys that can guard multiple positions and they can score three-level scores. They check both of those boxes. I think what you do is you add to them. Marcus Smart is a great addition. But I think when they went and got Derek White and they got Al Horford, those were the missing pieces, the missing links. Now Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum don't have to dominate the basketball. Moving Marcus Smart to the point guard, he can make plays, but he also could play off the ball. Derek White coming in, being able to run the show. And then Horford, another guy I think is underrated, flies under the radar as far as what his capabilities and what he can do for the team. A guy that can protect the rim, he can knock down an open three, but then also makes all the right reads, can get it off the glass and push the break and make the right passes. I think you just have to put the right pieces around them. I didn't think you should break them up. They're too young and gifted. I mean, what do you get back for that? I don't know what you could really get back for that except some draft picks and potentially find another guy like that when you already have it. So I wasn't a big fan or wasn't a believer in trying to break that group up.
Eddie, I just got to say, first off, man, as a guy that's played basketball for a long time, I got to tell you, man, that short stint I had with you in the Nets, man, you're one of the greatest shooters I've ever seen, dog. So I just want to pay you homage live here on the show, man. The way you used to sling that, oh, my. People forget, Stephen A., you know what I mean, how this dude used to do it. So I just want to give you your kudos on that. But I am curious between.
And he brought it in moments, that counted too, Jay. It wasn't a front runner. When you needed a bucket, Eddie House gave it to you. Yes.
Yeah, no, I wasn't scared. I ain't scared.
You ain't never scared. But it did look for like a minute, though, in game two, when Draymond was being physical, he was being demonstrative. To me, it felt like Boston looked like a young team at that moment, even though they look like an old team throughout the playoffs, even though we know they're age-wise young, right? But playing young and playing old are two different things. Like, that was the first time I saw them as a young team for a second. I am curious, from your perspective, Eddie, what changed between game two and game three about the way they were going to readdress Draymond Green?
I think, this era of basketball, they come from the AAU group where everybody's bros. Like, that's my partner. We all cool. Everything is cool. I know we're in the NBA Finals, but we're still buddies. I don't like back in the day, guys just really didn't like other guys because you didn't have the accessibility to them via social media or, being able to talk to them or going to all these other camps the way or these AAU tournaments that they are now. So I think what they seen was old school physicality, physical basketball. Like, I don't like you. And that's how Draymond came off. And it kind of put them on their heels. And it was similar to game one. Once the floodgates opened on the Golden State Warriors in game one, the Warriors couldn't close it. And once that physicality and the floodgates opened in game two, it seemed like the Celtics could never regain their composure. I mean, Draymond was into it with a little bit of everybody. It was Tatum. He was in his face. He had his hand all in Grant Williams' neck. He got into it with Marcus Smart for a little bit. We seen what happened with him and Jaylen Brown. And then at the very beginning of the game, I think he set the tone. It was the first possession. He ties up Al Horford. They go to the floor. They end up getting a shot clock violation. And that right there, to me, I was like, ooh, okay, it's going to be one of these games. They're going to have to match that physicality and exceed it if they're going to want to win that game, too. That's what I thought myself, and they just never could. And great job by Draymond by going out there and saying, hey, this is how I have to play the game. I have to muck it up. This is the way I can affect the game because right now, offensively, he's not affecting the game. I mean, defensively, he's fouling a lot, but that was the way for him to affect the game, for them to get a win, and he did a great job doing that.
Eddie, I hear we have
Eddie
a
House,
photo.
where are you now?
I'm in Boston.
Okay, I hear we have a photo for you. While we're working on that, I got a question for you, though. Obviously, you won the championship 2008. Big perk on that squad. I know you work with him now as well. How would that 2008 team fare against this team?
You know what? I think we would. You do want me to be honest? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we.
Be honest.
I think we would dog them out because we had a team full of killers, like from top to bottom. Was nobody weak? I mean, there would be no answer for KG. We already seen what KG did to Horford back when we played before. Paul Pierce, and you could cross out Jason Tatum and Paul Pierce, but that's a top 75 player we talked about. You got Ray Allen, another top 75 player you talked about. You had Rondo running the point, Big Perk being big and nasty down low. You had Leon Poe coming in off the bench. You had Posey coming in off the bench. You had myself coming in off the bench. Then you had Tony Allen, another defender coming off the bench. We were one of the best defensive teams, if you really want to, keep it solid in NBA history. One of the best in the history of the game, and yeah, we would have ran through them.
I don't know if the producers
right
heard
now,
me, so I'm going to pull up that photo one more time. Sorry, Stephen A. I keep hearing about this photo, so let's let this happen. Do we have the photo, Ryan? There we go. That's what they wanted you to see, Eddie.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know damn well he ain't ever got into no Harvard. I mean, I don't even know why they let him in the building, but that's my dog, though.
He was very professorial, though, Stephen A.
I like his glasses, though. His swag.
He was hilarious.
You know what? The one thing about it, he always swagged out. No matter what, he always swagged out.
Give him credit where credit is due. Eddie, before I let you go, man, I got to ask you this question. You're up 2-1 right now. When you look at this Boston Celtics team and where they are at this point in the series, what chance do you give the Golden State Warriors of still winning this series over your present-day Boston Celtics based on what you've seen these first 3 games?
I give them a great chance. They're a scary team. I mean, they scored 8 points in 25 seconds, and they could do that. The thing that scares me is that if you turn the ball over against the Golden State Warriors, they will capitalize. And they put you in so many different situations when they get the turnover, or even just pushing it in transition, because they got guys that can attack the rim. Then they got all these guys filling the 3-point line that can just knock down shots, in their sleep. So I'm fearful that if we turn the ball over, the Celtics, if they turn the basketball over and don't get back defensively, it could look like game 2. But if they take care of the ball, I mean, that's where it all hinges on. It all hinges on the Celtics taking care of the basketball, maximizing their opportunities, because playing in half court, their half court D has been pretty solid. Steph Curry has been the best player by far in this series, but it's going to take more than just him. And I think you've seen that with the Celtics. It's been various guys that have been chipping in. You always going to have your stars do what they do, but you had Horford in game 1, Marcus Smart last game. Jaylen Brown's been consistent. And I think Jason Tatum played his best ball in game 1. Even though he didn't shoot the ball well, I thought he played a fantastic game on both ends of the court. But I give the Warriors a good chance, man. They are a champion. They have a heart of a champion. And the one thing is you cannot count them out. And the minute you relax, and we've seen that in game 3, in the third quarter, the minute you relax, they right back at you. And they took the lead. And, we were up big on them. So they're always a dangerous team, always.
Eddie, great insight. Really appreciate you. Come join us again. This was a lot of fun.
All right,
and enjoy the game. I know you'll be working
tonight.
Thanks a lot, Eddie. Enjoy it all.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right. Coming up on First Take, after a 2. Game 4 of the NBA Finals is tonight at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio, with the Celtics up 2 games to 1. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown. That's at 8:30 Eastern. It's no secret Steph Curry has been carrying the Warriors' big 3 in these finals. He's outscoring Klay and Draymond, making nearly half his shots. Thompson has the 4th worst percentage through the first 3 games of a finals, and Green's struggles have been well documented.
You have to realize that time is not on our side anymore. Treat tomorrow as a must-win. Even though it's not a closeout game, it's still incredibly important to get one here. That was our goal the whole time, and they just outplayed us game 3. I mean, there's no way around it. And we're gonna, the best part about the playoffs is how you respond, and never underestimate the heart of a champion, and we have a lot of those.
All right, Jay, well, you just heard Klay say time's not on our side anymore. Do you think the title window is closing on the Warriors' big 3?
Yes, it's closing. They're getting. I would still give them probably another 2 years or so. But obviously, I think the health of Klay Thompson, and is he able to sustain that healthiness, is a question, considering he's had 2 injuries that have been devastating injuries. We've seen Steph deal with injuries throughout the course of his career, in particular 2 this year. The one he just had to his ankle, the one that he had to his ankle before against the Celtics and Marcus Smart that held him out for a period of time. Draymond Green has had back issues. I know we can factor health into a lot of teams, but as his team gets older, even though Jordan Poole has continued to ascend, and I do like their pieces of Wiseman and Kuminga, I just wonder how long Steph and Klay can sustain. But I would probably say, Stephen A., it's safe to say if you had a 2-year window that this team can go for it again. But I will tell you, there are other teams in the Western Conference coming. We talk about what the Pelicans can be. If you add Zion, you had C.J. McCollum, who now works with us. You see them in their swing up. You've seen Dallas, if they add a piece. The Clippers are going to be a team that's going to be there. Memphis is going to be a team that's going to get better. There are teams that are going to push them and push the envelope. But I say another 2 years is safe to say the window's open.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about the Warriors at all. I've already got them penciled in for next year's conference finals with ease. I'm not concerned, not even a little bit. The fact of the matter is, when Wiseman comes back, you're anticipating that Kuminga will continue to develop along with Moody. Poole is there. He's in his 20s. Okay, Kuminga's 19. Moody's 19. Wiseman's about 21 or so, however old he is. Okay, so I'm looking at those 4 guys right there. I'm looking at Klay and Steph, but I don't worry about age with them as much as everybody else because they're marksmen. See, with somebody like a Russell Westbrook, whose success is predicated on an extreme and elevated level of athleticism, that's different. With Klay and Steph, not so much because they're shooters. And so what I mean by that is, no, Jay, are they going to average 30 or 28 a game? No, that's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about you can pencil Steph and Klay in for 20 a night with ease over the next several years because they're shooters. And when you're shooters, it's about what you surround them with. So to me, it's about Bob Myers, it's about Joe Lacob, it's about Steve Kerr and the crew, assembling a squad that takes pressure off these guys to be so much physically so they have the freedom to shoot without having so much of a load placed on their shoulders. If this was back years ago and we're saying what the window is, I would tell you that's closing because Steph and Klay are not getting any younger. There's teams on the come up, and obviously your success is primarily predicated on that. But when you've got these other cats that can make contributions, that could give you solid quality minutes, and then you pair them with Draymond, Klay, and Steph, from a leadership perspective and obviously from a marksmanship perspective, I like Golden State's chances for at least the next 3 years. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, see, I'm with you on 2 to 3 years. Look, I think what they've done with how they've developed talent and how you have Jordan Poole, we'll see how they continue to develop Kuminga, Moses Moody. You talk about Wiseman. Wiseman is talented. He is long, he is athletic, and Draymond Green looks different.
People keep forgetting that.
Exactly. When there's height on the floor, that doesn't force him to be the primary 5 position. Like, it changes the scheme of how they play. But there are other teams knocking on the door in the Western Conference, so Stephen A. There are. They're coming.
Listen. If you want to tell me the Clippers, fine, because that's Paul George and that's Kawhi Leonard and with Ty Lue as their coach. You want to talk to me about that, I'm all ears. When we look at everybody else scouring the Western Conference, the bottom line is they're all looking for that next dude. Dallas has got to find him. Minnesota's got to develop him. Denver has to hope dudes are healthy next year. We assume they'll be, but they've been going for a while themselves. You've got a lot of question marks. I'm saying the Golden State Warriors, with these veterans, when they were younger, albeit 5, 6, and 7 years ago, remember, they had the Jaja Pajulias and the Andrew Bogut's as their center. Not to disqualify them by any stretch. They were rim protectors. They could rebound. They were big bodies that could make a difference. Wiseman can ball. And this notion that Draymond Green is just going to fade and he's not going to benefit from having a guy like that at his disposal, you know what? That's something that I don't think that we should ignore. We got to keep our eyes on Kevon Looney because he played lights out in the Dallas series. But at the end of the day, I think it was Dallas or Memphis. But the bottom line is this. You look at him, he's devoid of athleticism. He doesn't rim protect. He does rebound. He knows the system. He's absolutely loved and adored by Steve Kerr. But you're going to need some athleticism on your front line. One of those people they already have in James Wiseman. I'm not worried about the Warriors moving forward.
Let me ask you this, and I know, Stephen A., you said they have a chance to win, two championships in the next 3 years, so I know you're all in on them. But who do you think has a chance to take the crown from the Warriors and really become the next dynasty in the NBA, East or West?
Wow. I mean,
I'm talking like multiple championships.
multiple champions.
Yeah.
I mean, I still like Milwaukee.
Okay.
Like, look, Chris Middleton was a 50, 40, 90 guy a couple of times in his career.
Mm-hmm.
What he brings to the table, I think, is different. I think that's a different series if Middleton is on the court. Obviously, health is factored into all these teams. Boston's in that conversation as well. I think Boston will be knocking on the door, but I just don't gloss over the Milwaukee Bucks, Stephen A., and a guy right now in Giannis that is the best player in the world, in my opinion, and is essentially, if you surround him with the right pieces, if they are healthy, I love their system. I love their style in which they play. And I still think in the next couple of years, like, they have a huge window to win championships. So I'll go Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I'll go Bucks.
S.A.?
I'm not disagreeing with you, Jay. What I'm saying, however, is the same thing you could say to me about Milwaukee, I could say to you about Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Boston, if they win we said they were coming. If they win the championship, they have arrived. And there's something to be said about walking through that minefield, going through that danger zone and coming out on top. It makes you different because I've been there now. I know what to take. I know what it takes. One of the reasons we look at the greatness, we looked at Kobe, we looked at LeBron, we looked at various others. We were like, they're there. They know. We know what they're going to do because they've done it. And the moment doesn't faze them. And to see Jaylen Brown at 25, to see a Jason Tatum at 24, and to see how unfazed they are by the moment, if they end up beating the Golden State Warriors and winning this championship, understand that the Brooklyn Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks will now next year be going against a different animal. They won't be going against somebody who's starving to get someplace. They're going against somebody who knows how to get there. Yeah. And that's a different animal. We got to pay attention to that. And that's why I say I get what you're coming from with Chris Middleton, with Drew Holiday, and a Giannis Antetokounmpo. But Boston, they win this championship, that's a team you got to look at and be like this. The East starts with them.
I hear you.
Yeah, for sure.
Not anybody.
I wonder how much longer Al Horford to play at this level. And, I mean, granted, Grant Williams, I think, can help a lot in that category.
Robert Williams will be healthier next year.
Yeah, true.
Robert Williams will be healthier next year, though. Keep that in mind.
We hope, yes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll keep it rolling, guys. Still to come, we got a huge game 4 tonight. We're making picks in just a bit. Who's winning and why and what it'll mean for the rest of this series.